Hello, my name is Fiona, and I am a certified teacher and a Praxis coach with Study.com. Are you planning to take the psychology exam? This is Praxis test code 5391. Praxis 5391 is an exam that covers multiple subject areas. This problem set covers the category of methods, approaches, ethics, and assessment. Let's review the types of questions you can expect to encounter on the exam. Problem number 1. An individual takes an intelligence test and gets a score of 120. What can be inferred about the intelligence of the person from this score? The individual is moderately gifted. The individual has a mild mental disability. The individual has above average intelligence, or the individual has average intelligence. An individual with an IQ score of 120 does not fall within the range considered to be moderately gifted, which typically includes scores of 130 and above. So we can cross that out. The idea that the individual has a mild mental disability is also incorrect, as such a condition is generally associated with an IQ score below 70. So let's remove that. Furthermore, the description of average intelligence is also not applicable, since average intelligence encompasses IQ scores between 85 and 115. So let's eliminate that also. Therefore, the correct inference from an IQ score of 120 is that the individual has above average intelligence. Therefore, the answer is C. Problem number 2. A teacher was asked by her supervisor to consider making changes to her teaching methods to improve student reading scores. The teacher locates a high-quality research study that suggests a high correlation between certain teaching techniques and improvements in reading scores. Which of the following would be the best way for the teacher to interpret these findings? The teacher can safely drop their current methods and switch to the methods promoted by the study. The high correlation proves the teaching technique increases student reading scores. Because the research focuses on correlation alone, it is not useful nor helpful. Or, the research indicates a strong association, though more research is needed to determine the cause. The suggestion in A is incorrect because correlation does not imply causation, and switching methods without further evidence could be disruptive. So let's cross that out. B is incorrect, as a high correlation only indicates a relationship and, again, not causation. So we can cross that out as well. Additionally, C is incorrect because while correlation doesn't prove causation, it still provides valuable insights for further investigation. The correct interpretation is D. The research indicates a strong association, though more research is needed to determine the cause, which acknowledges the significant relationship while emphasizing the need for additional research to confirm causation and understand the underlying mechanisms. Thus, D is the correct answer. Problem number 3. On Monday mornings, a teacher asks her statistics students to find their weekly quiz scores on a bell curve graph. At the beginning of the current week, a student notices his score is far to the left, almost to the end of the tail of the left curve. Based on this information, which of the following conclusions should the student draw about his quiz performance? It is good news because the student scored much higher than the class average. It is good news because the student scored the same as the class average. It is bad news because the student scored much lower than the class average, or the student cannot draw an informative conclusion without knowing the class average. A is incorrect because being far to the left of the bell curve indicates a lower score, not a higher one. So let's eliminate that. B is also incorrect, as scoring near the tail on the left side implies a significant deviation from the average, not similarity. D is also incorrect because the position on the bell curve already provides insight into the student's performance relative to the class. The correct conclusion is C. It is bad news because the student scored much lower than the class average. The student's score being far to the left near the tail of the curve indicates that their performance is much lower compared to most of the class. So C is the correct answer. Problem number 4. A researcher is studying the effectiveness of different approaches for treating anxiety among first graders. She aims to test her hypothesis that cognitive behavioral approaches work better than mindfulness methods. If the researcher in this scenario chooses a true experimental study design, the most appropriate way to select subjects for the experimental and control groups would be assigning the first graders referred by the teachers and principal to the experimental group, assigning all first graders to one of the 3 groups by choosing names blindly out of a hat, assigning first graders who are in the most need of help to the mindfulness group, or assigning the first graders whose parents are most concerned to the control group. A is incorrect because it introduces selection bias, as those referred may have specific characteristics that are not representative of the whole group. So we can eliminate it. C is incorrect because it skews the groups, making it difficult to determine if the treatment itself is effective or if the results are due to the initial severity of anxiety. So we can eliminate that also. D is also incorrect as it introduces bias based on parental concern, which may not accurately reflect the children's actual anxiety levels. So we can cross that out. The correct method is B, assigning all first graders to one of the 3 groups by choosing names blindly out of a hat. This approach ensures randomization, which is essential in a true experimental study design, thus allowing for a valid comparison of the effectiveness of the different approaches. So B is the correct answer here. I trust I was able to clarify the types of questions that you will find on the category of methods, approaches, ethics, and assessment for the Praxis 5391 exam. Please remember to like and subscribe to this channel so that with Study.com's help, you will feel well equipped and well prepared for exam day. Bye for now.